From the moment I saw your smiling face, I knew in my heart you were my saving grace. You're the sunshine on my darkest days. With you, I'm lost in an endless maze. Every touch, every kiss sets me free. In your arms is where I long to be. Together we'll face whatever comes our way. Forever and always we'll seize the day.
All right, can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Somebody 55? 55? 55? Oh my goodness, where is my sound? Okay, good thing I didn't swear. Son of a bitch, all day long. Mercury must be flipping the retrograde. Every channel that I've seen has had problems. All right, thank you so much. Hula Hoop is out there. Hello, Hula Hoop. We're going to talk a little bit about a particular story that involves Hula Hoop and her family. And that's going to come up real soon. I want to talk a little bit about DC first, and then from DC, we're going to head on down to Atlanta and talk about something that happened last Friday. And Hula Hoop is going to be listening, and I appreciate her being out there. Okay, so first thing I want to talk about is there's the National Guards with, I think you guys have all heard this story is being sent to some of these blue-pilled, I shouldn't say that, states where there's basically no law and order, and that's what they're doing. They're putting law and order back into the place in place based upon the Constitution. And I am watching news from Chicago. I'm watching news from California, and the insanity that is actually out there. And so this is a good thing as far as I'm concerned. I think some people asked me some questions yesterday about the military getting involved. So the way that I've always thought about it is, yes, the military get involved by getting the National Guards out there to take crime off the streets. There are a bunch of supermen out there that are going to protect the citizens of the United States, or sovereign people, however you want to look at it. And let's see. So we're going to talk a little about that. And that was really the brunt of the stories. Someone asked me to pull some cards on it. Now, I kind of get confused a little bit in my mind when you say the military will be out there versus the National Guards. And I actually had to go to my husband and ask him, is the National Guards part of the military? Is it a subset? I wanted to make sure that I understood this correctly. So you guys, I don't have this gray hair for no particular reason at all. So, I see things a little bit differently than other people do. And so I think if you've been following me this long, you understand how I am. All right. So the next story up is going to be involving our one and only Hula Hoop. And so let me just see if I can cue this up. I'm not going to show the stories, and I'm going to do that at another time. So I wanted to warn you guys that, not warn you, but give you a heads up that Hula Hoop, and I'm not sure who she's going to invite from her family to come on to the show. But if you recall last Friday, you may have heard this story, you may not have heard this story, but there was a particular, I guess, people were protesting in Atlanta, Georgia, at the CDC. And I'm going to have Hula Hoop come on and talk a little bit more about this. So what actually had happened was there was a young man that went to the CDC and was telling a story, everybody down there, that a particular vaccine basically changed his life in for the worst ways. So just to give you a little bit more on this, I'm going to give you a cliffhanger. You guys are going to have to come back. I think we're going to do a show on Saturday with Hula Hoop. Is that Hula Hoop was actually somehow involved with this particular gentleman who was running around everywhere trying to detox this thing out of his body, as most people have regretted that particular any shot, if you will, any booster, right? Well, now that they're hearing what they're hearing and what information is coming out. So I'm going to be very careful here. And so there was actually ABC News did a headline on this and said, the headline was the shooter actually claimed that the vaccine is the reason that ruined his life and is the reason why he took another life. Now, with that said, we're going to hear Hula Hoop's side of the story because she's got a whole bunch of information. And if you guys know who Hula Hoop is, and Dr. Ken, they've been on my show in the past. They actually have a business, a healing center that I call it, down in Atlanta, Georgia, and they see people every single day or however often somebody comes in and wants to remove this vax out of their body. And there's people out there scamming and just basically telling you that they've got a solution, take this, buy this, do that. People are desperate. And we're going to hear from her and her family on they were all pretty much pulled into this particular guy. I think his last name was White, John White. I don't remember his full name. He was all over the news. You guys can go out on YouTube and see this. So I did hear from Hula Hoop, and I asked her. She told me the story, and I was so taken back by it. And then I kind of always let information marinate with me. So this morning I texted her and I said, would you want to come on and talk about this? Because I think a lot of people need to hear your side of the story, not necessarily that gentleman's side of the story, because his side of the story is actually being told from the perspective of the news media, the mainstream news media, and also just reporters or whatever witnesses have seen. But I think Hula Hoop and her dear son have, and I don't know if Dr. Ken was involved whatsoever, but I'm sure that he was. It's his business. Has a whole different perspective, and it's a perspective of them wanting to help humanity at the highest level that they possibly can. And what they encounter probably on a day-to-day basis with people wanting to detox these things out of their body. And that's where I'm going to leave it right there with you guys. So, yes, Hula Hoop is, it's Patrick White. I'm sorry. I thought it was John. But I think I got that confused, as most people know that I do get names confused. So, yeah, she's saying it's Patrick White. And so there you guys go. So thank you for the clarification. Is Hula Hoop is going to be heading out for dinner with her 99-year-old mother, sending lots of love to your whole family and to your mom. And okay, you guys. So that's the information that I have. So please stay tuned on Saturday. I think we're going to do this on Saturday. I asked her to basically gather as much information. Now, this was an very emotional, and mind, body, and spirit experience for her family. So I told her to take her time, take notes, and I would love to have her son on also if it's possible. I don't know if he's camera shy or not, but I want to send blessings to specifically him. I think he, I know he did, because I'm feeling the energy of it through Hula Hoop. He took it really hard. And you'll hear some information from either Hula Hoop or someone else that will give you the information and what they witnessed. Now, there were texts that were being sent back and forth, and now Hula Hoops will tell you all about all of that in another day in time. All right, so that's what I have so far. So, we've got the National Guard continue to pour into Washington, D.C. Nancy Drew is supposedly going to be in Washington today. I kind of sort of follow Nancy Drew only because I kind of sort of only believe half of the things that she says until I see the receipts out there. But when she's doing the actual videos, you guys remember the video that Nancy Drew did? She's also known as Mum, M-U-M, out on X, where she was walking and talking in Washington, D.C., and then over, I think it was a policeman's radio, you hear somebody say, Trump and Kennedy. We have to wait until Trump and Kennedy clear the area, right? So that video has now resurfaced because all of a sudden there's a lot of stuff about Kennedy. There is a Kennedy senator that is out of Louisiana. I thought that that's what they were talking about because I knew that they're, and then everybody else is speculating John F. Kennedy, but time will tell. So we're going to see what happens with there. So there was a posting out there that if any of you follow Nancy Drew, I don't know when she's going to be there, but I just want to share this with you guys right now. 1 second, and I'm going to just share this quickly. And yeah, thank you, Hula Hoop, for sharing your information with me so far. All right, let's see while she heads out. So this is the actual video. This was the actual video. Where'd it go? There's really no sound here. It's just the National Guards that are walking across the street. They're doing that Beatle walk. The Beatles. All right, I'm showing my age. Forget about it. Okay, so that's what we have. It doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of them, but maybe they're coming in slowly but surely. And yeah, we want law and order in every state. Every state. Not only that, there are also, I'm seeing FBI agents down here along the coast. They are gathering up people that don't belong in the country, and they're also taking the criminals off of the streets. And I think that is a good thing because, if we could go back to a time where we didn't have to worry about locking our doors, God bless us all, right? That's what I have to say. Let's see here. But I just wanted to show you guys that it looks like that it's a repeat in here. Let me come back to you guys over here and just see what else is out there. So I was actually just wanting to talk a little bit about various news stories that I have out there and what I've actually bookmarked because, I know that you guys like the readings and stuff like that. And if you want them at the end, I'd be glad to do that for you. I have the same amount of people in the chat all the time. And that's good. And I'm kind of break it up a little bit. So let me just kind of talk about the gold standard. So 54 years of fiat slavery, and they're basically claiming that time is up on all of this. And this is a posting that I'm actually seeing out there. So August 15th, 1971 to August 15th, 2025 is from the Babylon paper of Kingdom and Gold. So that is a positive thing if you guys are hoping and wishing about the particular money. There you guys go. And let's see what else we have. What other stories we have out here. This was real interesting. This came from the Representative Jim Jordan. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources invites the public to enjoy free range day at a public shooting ranges on Saturday, August 16th. If you happen to be in the Ohio area, go out and get some free time in out there on the ranges. All right, so let's see here. This is basically this is Trump just talking about the Capitol is dirty, the whole country is dirty. Dirty, dirty, dirty. And he's gonna clean it all up is basically what he is saying. And again, this is music to my ears. And a lot of people, you could go either direction with this and say that he's basically acting like a king. If you listen to the blue states, they're basically saying he's unconstitutional. You just can't take the National Guards and go into a state like that. I say malarkey, balarkey, baloney, whatever you want to call it. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about this particular graph that I have halfway here. It says, what have you been feeling all day today? There's so much going on and the day isn't over yet. The timeline is moving fast. It's like a month of activity compressed into one single day. And this is the chart right here, you guys. Let me just kind of blow this up a little bit for you. Hopefully it will blow up. And I've been feeling really, really good. Let me take this one statement down here. how is everybody else feeling out there? Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you sure to do that in the chat. Yeah. So yeah, and this seems to be the pattern that we've been moving into a lot lately. I've been sleeping so well. Could be some of the some of the vitamins that I've been taking, but things just seem to, I feel like, I'll just put my neck out there that things are starting to feel really good right now. And I hope you guys are also feeling the same way too. There's a lot of people out there saying that everything is, even though we don't have all the disclosures right now, everybody thinks that something is going to happen next week. Yesterday when I did a particular reading, I felt like next week was going to be more pertinent than it is this week. And I think that's a really, really good thing. Let's see what else I have. These are some of my bookmarks. You are watching the doors open to military occupation. Now, this is what I think some of you saw out there. It's 11.3, Law of War Operations that will lead to massive arrests and storm operations. So if I wanted to break this down, and I hope that I'm not too far off from this, I think we're going to see what we're actually going to be seeing is what Trump is doing out there, cleaning up the streets. Okay. All right. So a little bit more going back to me talking about hula hoop here. So this is John Fleetwood. I found him out on X and I subscribed to his newsletter. He's actually saying, and I'm reading this. This is coming from John. He says, "Are vaccine skeptics to blame the CDC shooting?" All right. So the AP exploits the CDC shooting to smear vaccine critics, ignoring the federal data showing millions of potential COVID jab deaths. Now, he's not the only one out there doing this. Okay, so there's a lot of information out there. A lot of doctors are talking about it. A lot of people are now putting their neck out, which I think that Hula Hoop and her family is going to explain to us further on down the road. This is Robert Malone, MD. As most of you know, Robert W. Malone. He said, here's a table from the primary data from the CDC. Note that there is a p-value isn't even included. I think he's saying a p-value. There's also an up-to-date vaccination. So children with one shot or not on their latest boosters are included in these estimates. So this is a particular chart. I'm going to try to open it up and show you. I want to show you guys this stuff. I kind of want to give you more information, and I'm going to show you a little bit about the CDC. This chart here, I can't read it, and I left my glasses in another place. So August 8th, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White opened fire near the CDC headquarters, killing an officer, David Rose. Mercy on his soul. Blamed the COVID-19 vaccine for suicidal thoughts and mourned his dog's death. Found dead by nearby CVS. Multiple guns were seized. So we're going to hear a lot more about that. Let me just kind of play this here. 1 moment. What that sound is, if you can't hear it, is gunshots going off. And I don't know if they were exchanging fires or if that guy took his own life, but we're going to hear more about that. All right, so let's see what else we have going on out there. And that just happened to come up here. So there's a lot more information out there about neuropsychotic safety signals linked to the MRI shot. If you know of anybody out there, the psychotic, dementia, and schizophrenic, and I think we're going to hear more about that with Hula Hoop later. So you guys stay tuned on that one. So there is an international journal of research of medical science that associate between the COVID-19 vaccination and the neuropsychotic conditions. I'm going to be surprised if my channel is still up when I'm done with this. I know that there's still a lot of censoring here, but I'm also out on Rumble too. So there you guys go. This was some more news stories that where they were closing the stores in that particular area for safety reasons. But more than that, let's see here. Yeah, and this is just more health stuff. I'm not going to go into a lot of that there. And let me just see what else is going on. I want to see what's going on with Rumble right now, and come back to you guys over here, and just see how you're doing. I see Buckshot is out there. Hey, Buck, how are you? You know, I just hope that if you know of other larger platforms that possibly if you know other people want to interview if they have the time. Hula hoop to really get the story out there. I don't look like I'm even live on YouTube. What happened here? All right, it didn't work. Or Rumble, I should say, not YouTube. Oh, yeah, I am. Okay, I see Buckshot is out there. I see me. All right, and let's see here. Thanks, Buck. Thanks for putting that out there. Just checking in into the TTP family, TCTME. TCTME, your ears must have been ringing because me and Hula Hope were just talking about you. Seriously, we were. So if anybody doesn't know, we're going to talk about this on Saturday also, is TCTME happened to buy Hula Hoop's foot bath for pulling the toxins out. When I met with TCTME, I actually asked her, hey, what was that brown stuff in the thing? And she says, no, they're not putting anything in the foot baths. That's the toxins coming out of your body. So if anybody has been wanting to buy one of these, and I'm going to look into it, I think I'm ready for one. I think I need this, and my husband needs this. You know, you guys just get your pencil and paper ready for Saturday's show. You're going to get a whole bunch of health issues, good information, some sad, some glad, and, you know, just in different things that we're going to talk about on Saturday. All right, let's see. I see Charlene is out there. I see Buckshot is out there. Hello, hello to you guys. Just want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. Let's see what else we have. I just want to, I'm going to pop out this chat so that I have it. And I'm glad I did check. I did check the Rumble over there. Okay, good. What else is going on out there that I wanted to talk to you guys about? There are just so many stories out there about in the health arena that we can totally get overwhelmed with it right now. So I want to kind of break it down into pieces and different stories for you guys. And this is one story, and I'm going to kind of switch back to, was a woman who does the anesthesiologist, right? She was, and let me just see if I can play it, and I hope you guys can hear the sound. I really do. Let me cue this up for you guys. 1 second.
But in fact, better than most. And in my gut, I knew something.
Okay, so let me just kind of set this up a little bit. So this is Tamara Scott, and she's going to tell her story. And this is in reference to organ harvesting in the hospitals. Let me turn up my sound, and you know, just in case you are eating anything, I'm going to give you a fair warning.
When I was in anesthesiology residency training, they asked me to go up to ICU and bring down a brain dead man to become an organ donor. Well, you know, I hadn't really thought about that very much. And so I asked him, gee, brain death, is there anything I need to know about this? It's my first time doing this. And my staff man just rolled his eyes and said, just be sure someone has actually declared him brain dead. You know how eager the transplant team can be. Well, I went up there and I found my patient, and, you know, he didn't look dead. His heart was beating. He had a good blood pressure, good heart rate. His oxygen saturation was great. He looked just like every other ICU patient I'd taken care of, and in fact, better than most. And in my gut, I knew something was wrong, but I had been taught by my authorities that this man was dead. So I came back to the operating room, and I found the staff anesthesiologist who was going to be supervising me, and I presented the case to him. And he asked me for my anesthetic plan of care. And I said, well, I think I'll use a paralyzing agent because, you know, surgeons get grabby when people move during surgery. And I'll give him some fentanyl to blunt any heart rate or blood pressure swings that might damage his organs. And the doctor looked at me and he said, well, are you going to give him anything to block consciousness? Well, I was stunned. I said, well, why would I do that? Isn't he dead? And he just gave me this long, slow look over his surgical mask, and he said, Why don't you give one just in case? And he walked away. Now, granted, my gut was telling me this is wrong. Something is really going on wrong here. But, you know, may God forgive me, I caved to my authorities and the push that everyone was taking to take this man and get this case done. And I did what I was told. I took the man to the operating room. I gave him the anesthesia we had planned to do. And I'm here to tell you, he reacted to the incisions, to the bone saws, to the removal of pieces of him, just like any other patient. He required the same types and the same amounts of anesthesia. And, you know, I told this story to a friend of mine who's a pathologist. And, you know, she told me when she removes organs during an autopsy in the morgue, she doesn't need to give any of these drugs. So this is what set me on this journey to find answers. I mean,
yeah. So
when I was in
oops. So I just want to come back to you guys just to let you know what they. You know, the funny thing is that you don't think that when you go into a hospital, just like we didn't think the government was going to do what they were doing to us, you go in the hospital, you don't think that they're going to do what they do to us. And they're not even sure if these people that they're removing their organs from are actually dead. And they're telling her to just give them an extra shot, you know, just to make sure that they're gone. And she knew in her gut. And we all need to follow our gut, no matter what industry, no matter what it is that you do. You stop and you ask the questions. If it doesn't feel right, you move on. You bless the people that are in front of you. It's easy for me to say this. I'm retired and I just don't give a shit anymore. But we're at this point where that they are taking human lives and doing whatever the hell they want with them. Breaks my heart. It puts a crack in my soul. And then I have to gather myself, pull my energy back in, calm down my energy. I've got to reach into my little book. And I've got to take out my little wand and pretend that this is not the world that I live in. But it is. And this is one of the reasons why I stopped doing these type of stories. But you can't shield yourself. It's okay to do them in moderation. It's okay to let people be aware. But how many people actually know what the hell is going on? How many people really knew the true story behind the CDC protester out there? How many people actually know that the body is ready to be, you know, sent to the morgue? And if the organs are, you know, it's just, the politics within all these big institutions have got to crumble. And it's up to us to make that happen. Nobody else out there. Nobody. I wish I had some sage right now. I really do. Woo-hoo. I just need to help me breathe, you guys. Just crazy. It is really crazy out there. All right. Well, I'm going to hear from Arnie here in a second. And I'm just going to cut my feed to sharing documents because I can't do this anymore. I really can't do this. You know, we have these far left people that will basically get out there and scream about bullshit stuff that they don't know anything about one. But we, the people who have done our research, find out about this stuff. We start to behave like they do, but we have a particular intention behind it. And my intention right now is to calm down and just basically just put it out into the ethers out there, if you will, that, you know, calling all of our guards, angels, God, whoever it might be, our loved ones on the other side that had tragic events that this happened to them, gather everybody together and we will overpower whatever the evildoers, and I call them evildoers for a particular reason. Lived with Marianne during the COVID. I fought and fought for her libtard son, fought me back. I know what you're saying. Results, she was murdered in the hospital from remdesivir, right? Right, Arnie? That's the shit that they were pushing. All right, this is now time for my people that follow me and that I love so dearly. And I want to send you guys all love and blessings to each and every one of you and that had to deal with this and And I'm so sick and tired of people saying what you went through will only make you stronger. It needs to make us smarter. We need to really do something about it. And I was just telling Hula Hoop earlier, when I find out about these stories, I want to jump out of my skin. And I feel like I need to do something. We all need to have that feeling, and it's the intention behind it. We are energy. And if we understand how energy works, we basically go out there and we call in whoever we need to and ask them to take down, take away. Trump's only going to be able to do so much at the top level. We're at the bottom level, right? He's the 1%. He's part of the billionaire group. He knows all of that's going on. But what's happening in the middle? What is actually happening in the middle? Who's taking care of the middle? We are. We're taking care of the bottom. We're taking care of the middle. And if there is a top, we're also there. Yes, remdesivir. You better believe it. Yeah. And let's see here. I was going to read Charlene a little bit. It says, I'm looking over to the side because I got my camera's right in the middle of these two monitors here. It says, that's why we observe and not absorb. 2019 to 2020 broke me yeah, for a good while. Yeah, to be able to feel again. No shit, Charlene. How many of us, when we found out about the children, cried? I cried for months. I hid my crying. I couldn't, when I first found out about the children, I couldn't just go running out and, talking to anybody about this because they weren't even at the level of information that I had. Excuse me, at that time. All right, let's see here. Robbie, 17. Same here, Janine. Yeah, you better believe it. Sometimes I feel so helpless that I can't do anything. And I'll say to people, I don't think I'm doing anything. And Arnie and Hula Hoop and everybody else that's been on my channel says, but you are doing something. And then I get suppressed and I get so mad when I see 14 people are actually fucking watching me. But you've got these other channels out there. They've got 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 20 million subscribers. And what are they talking about? Hunting. You got Tucker that I don't know what side of the fence Tucker's on. Sometimes I think that he was probably on the bad side and they said, hey, you want to straighten it out? You want to save your life, save your family? Start talking where we need for you to go. And then he got the platform. Does he have the passion? I have no idea. I'm still trying to see it. Let's see here. Okay, Charlene was saying that's why we observe and don't absorb. Yeah. There comes a point that you can observe for so long, but there is a part, if you are human, you will absorb some of it, but you need to know how to channel that information. And if it's getting up, going for a walk, breathing, because mind you, I know that I'm going to. I'm not just going to sit here and, fester in it. Hell no. Hell no. I'll jump in the pool before that will happen. Let's see here. And I, you know what? I'm probably going to do this. I showed it to you guys yesterday. If you happen to see the show, my energy I feel is already getting light because I know it's going to be really good. I'm going to take a recording of, what do you call it? The singing bowls, right? The singing bowls, get a recording, put it real close to the water because that vibration will come into the water as I'm in it. I'm going to try that. I would record it, you guys, but I'm in a swimsuit and that ain't going to happen. All right. Okay. Let's see here. Robbie, he has got a statement out there and I will read it. It says, I am a grandmother and I fought 4 school boards to get the mask off the children and I would cry when they would be standing at the bus stops. Yeah. Well, we kind of going to let that go. So when we talk about the energies have moved so much. We're so far beyond that, but we won't forget it, right, Robbie? We're not going to forget that. There's a reason for it. There's a reason why we were put where we are. Any of these situations, whether it affects you directly or from afar, or whether you're observing, right? There's a reason for all of this. And believe you me, your energy will not be wasted. Any of you that think that you're just sitting there and not doing anything, you are holding the energies. And don't forget how to do that. You just basically hold the energy and you pray and you do whatever it is that you want to do, the messages that you want to send, right? The heart and the mind meet. And then that's how that happens. My little doggy knows I was upset. She knows I was upset, and she was in the pool. Yes, she's always in the pool. All right, so mommy's okay. All right, so she's just trying to give me some love in here. And let's see, let's see here. Mary, I call her Mary, says, yes, this is amazing, Janine. Singing bowls are very good. Good frequencies help a lot. And if you guys can go back and just check that out, and it's all over the place. I think it's either China or Japan is actually doing this. I love you too. Thank you. I needed that. So if you guys happen to see this, it's really cool. They're blowing up like air mattresses, and they're putting them in these great big gigantic pools. It's enclosed. I'm not sure how well mine's going to work. I have an enclosure, which is a screen, which still some of the vibrations will get out. I'm okay. And I'm going to try it. So the singing bowl's in the water, and you just kind of go through a meditation and listening to it. I thought, oh, that is so cool. I'd rather do that than, sitting in a circle with a lot of other people. To me, I think just doing that meditation will take you to wild places, right? All right, let's go. You go lay down now. All right. Helen is out there. I saw a Helen W. Stay in a love bubble. Take care of yourself. Always sending love and light and protection to ours. Oh, thank you. I am going to envision this love bubble, this protection, right? And that's what we all should be doing right now, right? All right. I got something here and I want to share with you guys to make you laugh. All right. So, where my level of consciousness is now, you guys are witnessing this and where it used to be. And Buck, have a great day, Buck. Take care. And as Colleen says, bye, Buck. Bye, Buck. All right. So you guys all know that I'm originally from Chicago, and I used to be a huge Chicago Bear fan. Chicago Cubs, Sox. I was a North Sider, not a South Sider. Hockey, loved it. We did it all. We did it all. And so, Rizzo. And so at one point in time, there was a Milwaukee Brewers, right? Baseball teams have their rival teams, and you guys may or may not know this about Chicago. So sometimes it's St. Louis, and then at one point in time, people couldn't afford the tickets to go to Wrigley Field. Way too much. It was too much traffic to get there, so they started to go to the Brewers. I was that far north, and it was it was basically a better timing to get to that field. And so the Brewers were actually getting upset that all the Chicago people were going up there and taking over their park, and for the Cubs games that played up there. And so then it turned out also too with football, it was the Green Bay Packers was a rival to the Chicago Bears. And every time a game come out, it was, you guys, if you recall, if you're ever a big sports fan, being a rival, all the money that was being dumped in. And I don't want to talk about all this bad stuff that you guys are going to say with this is kind of like a joke to me, because this is the kind of shit that I spent my money on. And I'm not a big fan of sports, except for just the Chicago Cubs to this day, when I get to see the game. But okay, here it goes. You're going to say, what is this? All right, so what does that look like to you guys? All right, so this right here is where my head would go in. Right here is where my head would go in. And I turn it this way. Whoop, the camera's following it. And what's on the bottom here? All right. So I'm going to put this on. I want to give you guys a laugh because the energy was just too powerful. I thought this is a great way to break this energy. So when we played the Chicago Bears would play Green Bay, they were known as the Cheeseheads. So somebody, and this is made in the USA, came up with something to go against the Cheeseheads. They always had those cheese hats on. This is a grater. Oops. I'm not sure which way this is supposed to go. Never did figure it out. Can you imagine me wearing this now up in Chicago area? I probably would get killed. This is really old. This is really old. And this is kind of stuff that I spent $40. It's styrofoam. I spent $40 on this hat. Never wore it anywhere. It's been sitting in my closet. Talk about foolish. And that was where my level of consciousness was at. Ignorance is bliss. All right. Oh my God. Colleen says, oh yeah. So Colleen would know about this. That's too funny. Hey, Colleen, I know you're not a sports fan, but if you know of anybody that is, I'd send this to them. I would send it to them because I don't want it. I don't want it. Okay, so that is a box grater. Somebody said, yes, it is. It's made out of styrofoam, and I think I put it at this is probably the second or third time I actually had it on my head. Try to do it for a Halloween joke one time, and didn't go over too far. Some people didn't even get it, didn't know, they weren't sports fans. Can't do anything with that down in Alabama. They'll probably arrest me. All right. Yeah, so there you guys go. I just wanted to share that with you. All right, I'm coming up on 40 minutes here, and yeah, so that is what I have for you guys out there for today. So my next show is probably going to be Saturday, unless there's something else that happens out in the world where I want to come on and just kind of vent. Thank you guys for witnessing this. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. And yes, all of us, I am going to go walk outside barefooted, which is not a problem here down in the South, and just go for a little walk, get in the pool, try my singing bowls recording, and have it that music near the water, and see how well that goes. Let's see here. Let me just see what other statement. Colleen says, I went to the games back in the day. Skybox tickets were awesome. Oh, girlfriend, man, I would have killed for those. You know what? If you're talking about the Chicago Bears games, I only went to one. I won tickets. It was preseason. 55 years living in Chicago, could never afford any of those tickets, and yeah, it was insane that you got people, that corporations that own up all those seats. Right there, you go. That's another argument for another day. All right, let's see here. Mary is saying, thank you, Janine. It was good. Let the energy flow and get those emotions out of your system. You better believe it. And if you guys have something too, you want to come onto my channel, you want to vent, you want to do a Rumble rant, please do. I appreciate each and every one of you. And before I go, one more thing I want to just check is if I missed anybody out on Rumble out there. I don't know if I even still have that open. I may have closed it. I apologize about that. Let's see. I do have it open. Let me move this over here. TCTME says, yes, TCTME basically says, I need singing bowls. I need them too. The only problem is you can't do them live. It has to be recorded. And I think I saw Mary Jean or Mary J. She just bought a new one. She's got it out on her, I think it's Facebook page. And then after I clicked on that and I liked it, I started to see a lot more different things that people are doing with the singing bowls besides just doing a kumbaya type of thing. TCTME, it does look like a cheese grater. And yeah, let's see here. So TCTME, the giant piece of cheddar is the cheddar hats that the Green Bay Packers wear. So we basically shred their hats. It's a stupid thing, but it happens. All right, let's see here. That's all that I have, and my little dog wants my attention, so I will go play with her. Lily Rose is on Rumble, and she does her bowls on Sunday's show. So there you guys go. And I would love to have, I don't know if they can do it live, so it must be recorded, because what I have found out is that you can't get the sound to make it sound really good when it's live. It's got to be recorded, and everything has got to be played back through that. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye for now. And now we turn the page.
From the moment I saw your smiling face, I knew in my heart you were my saving grace. You're the sunshine on my darkest days. With you, I'm lost in an endless maze. Every touch, every kiss sets me free. In your arms is where I long to be. Together we'll face whatever comes our way. Forever and always we'll seize the day.